This is a wire recorder. And some of the very first messages that Brother Branham ever recorded were recorded on a wire recorder. And then they moved to the record scriber. Would actually cut a groove in the record as Brother Branham was speaking. Brother Gene Gold and Leo Mercer, those two brothers, the tape boys, they used this machine to record Brother Branham's sermons. And the company that they ran was called Audio Mission. And this is the old woolen sack. This was used by Brother Jim McGuire and Brother Fred Softman to take the tapes in the later years. So reel to reel. So you have these larger, I think 7-inch reels. And tape comes off one and goes on to the other. And this is what many of the first believers heard their first messages on.
Right.
And, sometimes when the reels got out of time, the tape would shoot out. So that's why they invented the cassettes. They put the tape on smaller reels and put a shell over it that would keep the cassettes moving together in the same time. But when Brother Branham said these tapes will go around the world, well, these tapes were the only thing in existence at the time. So those tapes went around the world, just in a different format. This is an old typewriter.
Right.
And, uh-oh. That is odd. When you used to typeset the books, you'd have a piece of typeset, and you'd set each line of text in a strip, and then we'd bind it together on a plate, and we'd put it on our press. This is actually just for covers. We never did covers the book manually, but we used to do the covers manually. This is the old spoken word eagle. You'd set the plate, and you'd bind it in there, and then you can slide the paper in there and print.
A lot of hard work in those days.
Yeah, it's the old days. The old spoken word typeset.
Okay.
Statue of a perfect man.
A template.
Yep. Church ages. It's actually break time, I think. It's like you hear all the racket downstairs. The brothers are headed to the break room. And then this is how we used to do it. We'd take a computer file, and we'd take the image, and we'd burn the image from this photographic film onto an aluminum plate. We did that up to about the year 2004, and right at that time, then we got a machine that we could completely get rid of the film and just make a plate direct from a computer. But this is just a thin aluminum plate, and you can see that each plate takes 8 pages. And the press has 2 cylinders that take 2 plates each, thus printing 32 pages per revolution. And so you can kind of see how far technology's come. In the old days, my mom and dad, they had a library, and we were lucky. I think we had 400 tapes at the time, which most believers didn't have that many tapes.
We had 1,200. Brother Isaacson had all 1,200 or 1,100.
And it took up pretty much a whole wall. I mean, a wall as big as this wall right here of shelves to house all the messages of Brother Branham. Of course, when Voice of God came around, we started producing the tapes in little cassettes. And it was much smaller, a little more convenient, but it still took up a big cabinet, this wide and this tall, and all the drawers and all the cassettes. So it still was a lot. And then we came out with the MP3 CDs, which took about 19 binders.
Right.
And then we came out with MP3 DVDs, and then you could get the whole message here.
Right.
And now we not only get the whole message in audio, but we also get all the books, micro SD. So, and we're really excited about the micro SD card because it's not just the size of it, like, you know, how big it takes to store it, but it changes everything, how you do everything at Voice of God. You know, as technology moves, we'll stay ahead of it, but in the old days, to send a mailing of cassettes was a whole 20-foot shipping container. And when you send that mailing of cassettes, they're only going to get 4 titles and maybe 500, you know, 500 sets of those 4 titles for 500 churches. Now I can take micro SDs, and we test it. There's little metal boxes you can buy, about the size of an Altoid box, but about the size of this right here. And we can take the SD cards and stack them in a box about this size, close it up, and I can get on the plane and carry 100 churches right in my front pocket. So I carry 5 of these, I got 500 churches taken care of. So I don't it seems that ever since this came out, it might be possible to get every church and every person in the world the message eventually. You know, their own personal set, their own access, and that's always been our goal. But it's amazing to see how far it came from the record inscriber, to the wall and sack, to the cassette tapes, to the CDs, to the MP3 CDs, to the MP3 DVDs, and now to the micro SD card.